Yo, yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am super punctual today. We're bang on time. Literally, the players are already here, ready to accept. We've got MrX versus ViViD, World Series Round 2. I'm not going to show you the bracket because I think there's going to be some spoilers in there, for example, my next games and stuff. So I'm not going to show you the bracket today, but you can trust me, this is Round 2. We've got two real big pros here, and we're pretty much ready to start. I'm actually holding them up here. So we've got, it's going to be a best of 9 between these two decent players. These two players here, what's interesting is actually ViViD is kind of new school and MrX is kind of old school. MrX has been around in Zero Hour for many years, probably, I don't even know how many years actually. I should have asked him, but he's super experienced, been around for a very long time. I was actually speaking to him just yesterday and he sent me over his strengths and weaknesses, and one of his strengths was analysis and experience, quite rightly so. And ViViD, yeah, as I said, is new school. ViViD actually told me he actually a few months or years ago was watching my channel. I actually got into Zero Hour because of my channel, so that's good to know. Bringing new players through YouTube to the Zero Hour community, and here we are with some epic games. Imagine if ViViD goes on to win the World Series. Maybe I should take a commission or something. Anyway, we have now got game number 1. I feel a little bit lost because both players are ready to start literally like 3 minutes early. We've got game number 1, Demo against Nuke. MrX in the bottom left. He has chosen the map, which is Forgotten Air Battle. He is in the yellow Nuke General. And then on the right hand side, we've got ViViD with the GLA Demolition General. Let me know your predictions, who you think is going to win this series. It's a best of 9, so first to win 5 games. And then round 2, I think after round 2 it changes. It goes up to best of 11, I think, so it becomes harder to win from that round. More games played required to win, so longer sets. But yeah, best of 9 here. We've got a terrorist and a worker in the middle. Pretty. Is that a fake? It's not. I don't even know if that's a fake, to be honest. Usually something Fargo does is build a barracks like that to try and box in your workers over here. And his main base has just got a tunnel. Don't know if that's going to stop any Battle Masters getting inside, which is pretty much what GLA wants to be doing in the early game. MrX looks like he's playing pretty defensively. Actually, he's also... Well, both players actually playing super defensive. It's going to be a technical now coming across the map from ViViD. I like that both players have picked completely different colours, so we can see them easily on the mini-map. And the first bit of action in this, so is that going to hit the mines? Oh no, unlucky for ViViD. Really well-placed mines from MrX. Yeah, first bit of action in this set of games. First technicals come across, and so far, it's got MrX's way. Stopping a Terror Tech like that is absolutely massive. On the other side, we've got a few units out from MrX at the moment. MrX built a decent bunker there, which has prevented any of the trucks taking any damage, which is really good. MrX has now got an outpost out as well, and I think he will be garrisoning that. I'm probably garrisoning one of these. I think MrX actually, if he'd have done a fast oil build, fast oil capture, he probably would have got it, because Mr. ViViD, I was going to say MrX, Mr. ViViD, he, yeah, with the tunnels in the beginning was super defensive, and only now is branching out to the rest of the map. I think this will probably be the first time MrX and ViViD have ever played. And maybe, I don't know, unless they played during the Clan Wars month. I don't know if MrX played any Clan Wars games. If he did, I can't see it being actually... Well, actually, he must have played a few because he qualified. I can't remember actually what name he played under. But it's got to be one of the first few times they've ever played. But yeah, it's a real clash of old school versus new school. Thor says, why am I not using the new scoreboard? Well, the new scoreboard, there's yeah, it looks good and stuff. So basically, anyone who doesn't know, a guy called AirZ has made a scoreboard that goes over the top where my mouse cursor is. Now, there's a few reasons why I'm not using it straight away. I might switch to using it in the future. But the reason I'm not is because of the hassle every single game. I don't want to be clicking stuff. I don't want to be selecting colors. I don't want to be selecting armies. And the second reason, which is the main reason, is I've seen people asking in the stream all of the time, what's the score when the new scoreboard has been live, or when I used to use smaller text than the current scoreboard. People, even though the scoreboard is there and it's easy to read, people always ask, what is the score? I've seen it hundreds of times. So the reason I'm using this is because it's big and prominent, it's easy, it's low maintenance, I don't have to... I mean, a scoreboard is meant to tell you the score instantly and clearly, not with smaller text. And if you look at that new scoreboard, the text of it is kind of swamped by the stuff around it. So yeah, that's the reason why, basically. I might switch to use it in the future, but in my opinion, the score needs to be more prominent. And I can't really be bothered with the maintenance. Tech going down there. RPG going down. I think the Battlemaster will go down. This is quite a fast helix from MrX. I say that actually. It's actually 2 helixes. Another tech coming in from Mr. ViViD. I keep going to say MrX and then changing it to Mr. ViViD. But yeah, he's got a dozer that's gone down there. He's not dozeless though. Command center's now out. But this is super defensive from MrX. And if he's not careful soon, ViViD will take over the oils. Not a lot of workers collecting here from ViViD. Big quad pop and MrX coming out on top there, killing everything. I did miss that pop, but we're lucky enough to see a few of them go down. That's a big win for MrX, and he probably wants to capitalize on that straight away. What you can actually do, send that one back to repair and then push with his other 2, because he's got a massive advantage right now. Because he can't have, what, more than 2 quads in there right now? He's probably got 1 and there's the second one. He can't have that many more because he's just lost his full tunnel. But MrX is playing this super cautiously. Of course, this is a tournament. It's not like Clan Wars where you can just happily lose 1 game and then just come back later on, or play another 10 games tomorrow or whatever, or just quit when you want. A tournament, you have to play your set. There's a lot more pressure on the games. You're going to play probably a lot more safe. You may get a bit more nervous than if you're playing like Clan Wars and stuff. So it's definitely different games. 3 helixes, or 4 helixes now out for MrX, and the reason this is good for Nuke, even though the helixes are more expensive, the quads for demo are really expensive as well. They're $750 a piece, $50 more than the standard GLA. So yeah, going mass helixes is not a bad idea, because then when you get Propaganda Center and you get a couple of Overlords out as well, it forces GLA to make have to make a composition. You're going to have loads of quads out, as well as probably a battle burst, as well as probably a Jarman. And then it's expensive to go demo bikes as well. You can't do everything as demo. And what demo needs to do is actually get these oils. I mean, he's had control of them for a while. If he'd just gone, if either player had just gone for fast oil capture, they would have got both of these oils. But again, it's you're going to play a lot more safe. It's probably the first time these guys have played each other, or probably the first few times at least, even if they did play each other a few times in Clan Wars. So yeah, both probably super cautious. Game number 1 of a big tournament usually means a lot. If you lose the first game, it sets your morale back a little bit and gives the other player confidence. Yeah, I see people agree with me in the chat about the score thing. Honestly, it doesn't matter. If you put that font in size 72 font and put it across the screen, I guarantee you'd still get people in the chat saying... what's the score? So yeah, I like it to be really clear and prominent and low maintenance. I mean, setting up these streams sometimes is already enough maintenance. Never mind with every single game having to change the characters. I mean, you can see here he's China, and you can see here he's GLA. If anyone's confused, I will just tell you he's Demo and he's Nuke. But yeah, as XCal said in the chat, welcome XCal by the way, MrX is doing super well. Maybe, is it a little overcautious in your opinion? Anyone in the chat? XCal, is this a little bit overcautious, or is this exactly as you think it should be played? I think he probably should have, or could have capitalized when he killed all them quads. He could have pushed forward, maybe checked this area for tunnels and stuff, which seems to be pretty clear now actually. But yeah, this is kind of Caro style. Caro's it always reminds me of Caro when you've got units like scattered around. Like generally you see Nuke with one big blob of Nami, which he kind of is doing now actually. But Caro will often, like, he'll do a Battle Master there, Battle Master there, Battle Master there, Battle Master here, ECM here, all really spread out. Maybe that's something MrX will want to do against Demo if Demo does get up to Demo bikes. ViViD is now on 1 oil. Palace is out and buses are out. So he's not going for demo bikes. Demo bikes potentially not going to be that great against 4 helixes. And also ECMs can stop demo bikes as well. This is looking super, super solid for MrX. I wouldn't mind being in his position. But the longer the game goes, ViViD is going to come more into an advantage or an advantageous position because of the because of that oil capture. Bus did go low and has run back into the tunnel. Refinery in the center being captured, and one of the helixes is going to go very, very low. He's got 6 quads out now, but there's a load of battle masters here, and they are taking the quads down very, very quick. Only 1 quad actually went down in the end. Now the helix is coming in. This is solid play from MrX. Super, super cautious and methodical, strategic, no messing around, just everything super, super safe. He's doing so well. It's just everything ViViD is thrown at him, he's pushed back. Apart from that TT, which killed 1 dozer. Apart from that, MrX is playing like a beast. Demo bike coming in from the back, that might actually cause big damage. If he doesn't spot that, he can see it. It just depends what he turn and shoot it. You need to turn it. Oh, there's a demo bike from the other side as well. Does he have? He has the upgrade actually. He does have the upgrade, but he's just lost a lot of stuff there. That demo bikes are just absolutely ridiculous. Just look at that. The perfect play from MrX has just been completely wrecked by 1 unit, which is the demo bike. But the helixes might still save the day. There are still a lot of quads out there. I think 5 quads. Yeah, 5 quads. Xcal and Gia are in the chat asking what's the score. Yeah, well, it just backs up my point. Nah, the new scoreboard is good and it's appreciated from AZ. It's just, yeah, I like it to be low maintenance and prominent, that's all. So these helixes just kind of chilling out in the middle now. Still Battle Masters from MrX. It's a rare thing to see, actually, where a player will just spam the Battle Masters. Size sometimes does it. Yeah. It's generally... Well, I mean, there's pros and cons to both. If you do Overlords ECMs, then a Jarman and a Bus and the Rebel Ambush can just wreck the army and turn the game on its head all in one swoop. But then you go Battle Masters, they've got lower armor, but they're cheaper. You can produce more of them. You get the Horde bonus. I think he's got all the upgrades. He's got the nationalism. He's got everything. So yeah, they normally get the Horde bonus when you're in a group of 5 or more. But he's actually got, I think that upgrade's called nationalism, and it basically, is it 25%? 25% extra damage. Can't remember the exact stats of it. I think it's 25% extra damage. I can't remember if it gives you anything else though. Does it give you? Doesn't give you a HP boost or armor boost as well, does it? Or is it fire rate as well? Probably need to do my research on that upgrade. It's probably, you could say it's an underused upgrade. It is pretty strong, but it's quite expensive as well. I think it's like it's either 2k or 2.5k. I think 2.5k, but yeah, it's expensive. Worker goes down there at the south of the map. Oh no, MrX! That's the first big mistake of MrX. I mean, his helixes have been close a few times to going down, but that was, yeah, he's just thrown away one there. But I mean, it's with helixes when you're having to be close to the tunnels because you need to be able to swoop in and kill the tunnels at a moment's notice. There's no point keeping them back in your base. So when they are on the edge, I think I did it in my round 2 games, which I'm going to upload later today. Wasting a few helixes. It is easy to do, especially when you're concentrating everything. You can concentrating back in your base, using your support powers. You're concentrating on your army. And then if you get a little bit too close to the tunnel, it can easily happen. So yeah, that was the first proper mistake of MrX. I don't think he hasn't really made any other mistakes apart from that. Oil has now been killed, so all of these tunnels are over here that were used for defending the oil are now, well, not rendered pointless, but you don't need as many tunnels as that. I mean, yeah, he's got the map control, but all of them tunnels now, what are they really guarding apart from the map control? So yeah, you probably wouldn't build that many tunnels if you weren't trying to protect the oil. So nice use of the general's promotions there. It does need to be careful here again. The tunnel is going to be finished on 100%, but you don't want to pop there because the... oh no, he wants to save this helix. I think, is that the same one from before? This poor guy, man. MrX is really letting him live on the edge. Quads and battle bus coming in from the top now. Flamer is going to go. As a Vet 2 Flamer is going to cause a bit of damage to the battle bus, but the battle bus is going to escape. I don't know about these battle masters, man, from MrX. I mean, because like 800, well, 3 of them is 2,400. Plus, you've got to get the upgrade to make him decent. You've got to get the thingy upgrade as well. I think MrX might have been better off doing Overlords and ECMs. Is that a captured Battlemaster? Or is that's not a bomb truck, is it? That's a captured Battlemaster coming in the base. It's going to provide more of a scout than anything. It's not really going to do anything. I mean, damaging these buildings, those that can repair it for free. It's not like in the Command & Conquer Remaster where it's got me thinking, hang on a minute, if he damages a building, you've got to repair that, and it actually costs money to repair in the Remaster. But yeah, well, here, those can repair for free. So count yourself lucky, Zero players. Those can repair for free. This battle bus is still scouting around north. Going to get a few hits off on a few of these battle masters at least. I think MrX is going to run out of money, you know, and I don't think he's going to have any follow-up from it. Meanwhile, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6 markets from ViViD. I think MrX started really, really well. Slow and methodical and did everything. But now I think he's maybe being a bit too cautious. And I think probably the Battlemaster decision may cost him the game here. I mean, it's nice to see Battlemasters, but just that upgrade and that upgrade, you could build 2.5 Overlords for those 2 upgrades alone. And I don't think you need them upgrades. Well, you definitely don't need nationalism for the Overlords, because they don't get it, as far as I know. Yeah, they don't get it. And that upgrade, generally, you don't really need it. Because, yeah, they cause a bit of splash damage to the units around it, but is it really worth 2k? DoMiNaToR did kill another 2 Battlemasters there. You see these... Like an Overlord, I'm pretty sure can take one DoMiNaToR and leave it on low HP, and you can go back and repair. But these Battlemasters, one DoMiNaToR gets there and kills these Battlemasters, and they're guaranteed dead. There's no coming back from it. MrX did have the refinery in the middle, so his units were cheaper. So every vehicle he's spent on, he's had a 10% reduction. But yeah, these Battlemasters go down way too soon. Carpet coming in, and actually he's going to do a really decent hit. It just depends how many quads are there. If he pops the quads now, he might pick off 1 Helix. Unless, where are the quads? Didn't want to pop for some reason. Maybe he's afraid of another General's promotion. Decent use of the carpet, but I just think MrX is going to starve himself out of his own game. Because ViViD behind this is just making... You can't out-camp a GLA. Especially with no hackers, he's not even trying to out-camp him. He's just trying to preserve his units, not moving out. DoMiNaToR coming in does get stopped. You see what I mean? If you target the DoMiNaToR before it hits, you can actually kill it. Oh no, that's painful. Oh man, MrX. Oh, poor MrX and MrX graveyard. Oh, and to top it all off, the Jarman's going to get all the scrap. Is he going to vet up from that? He's going to vet up once and get a load of money. Helix is still flying around here. The Jarman. That really is just adding salt into the wound. The Jarman is going to get spotted, though. The Jarman's been revealed. Oh, it's by the outpost. I don't think MrX can win now. Don't want to count him out too soon. ViViD probably needs to get the AP ammo. Probably lay off the markets now and switch into AP ammo, I think. Because MrX, all he's got is literally air. So if you counter his you counter with anti-air, you can just win the game. Because what has MrX got left? He's got a base and $600 for Helix and a Dream. It's not Dream is not enough. I really think MrX has been the victim of his own success here. Because his success was being slow and bunkery and deflecting anything that ViViD thrown at him. But you can't out-camp a GLA like this. And I think it might be the Battlemaster thing that cost him the game. Like when Size does it, he always makes it look like makes it look so easy, and the Battlemaster just overrun the GLA. But here, when MrX did it, it did not look half as convincing. I think Size is the only player that I see do that. I think I saw... was it Am and MC? I think I saw Am and MC do it once. But yeah, rarely do you see Battlemasters all the upgrades. I think that might have cost him. But also that it was that first demo bike that hit here. I think even the explosions are still there. When that demo bike hit, that killed most of MrX's army, and that demo rebel ambush as well. MrX is hanging in there as much as he can. I don't know if he realizes how many markets ViViD has got. He's got better support powers, I think, because the rebel ambush now will only be able to kill buildings. It won't be able to kill them helixes. But the carpet and the artillery will slowly be able to take out the markets, providing that the tunnels don't pop a load of quads and defend the from the carpet. MrX is still chilling. He just doesn't have any follow-up from this unless he's got cash hack, like 4k cash hack. Both players are level 4, both in terms of XP very, very close, but ViViD just way ahead in cash. I mean, every second that this game goes longer, look how many markets. I mean, even one market versus no economy at all would be a big disadvantage. But never mind when you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is that like 6, 7 markets. Decently placed mines there, but even if ViViD lost all his army, this is probably all the money that he's made from the black markets. He can just replenish it. But any unit that MrX loses, he's not going to be able to replace. He's sold off some of his base, it looks like, to build a few. Unless is he using cash hack? He does have Lotus here. So yeah, you can see how many markets there are. One market did go down, so that's a little win at least. Millard9 saying, have I missed much? Well, the score's 0-0, but you have missed the whole game, so you're going to need to just leave and just rewatch it later. You've missed 20 minutes of this nuke versus demo. But I think MrX is starved out of cash now. His helix is they were being chipped away by that quad, but now the quads have gone out of position a little bit. This army here is going to get killed, and MrX actually might try to get level 5 and deploy an EMP, but there is just too many quads. Mr. ViViD, where is your AP ammo? Oh, mines, that is. Can't be EMP until level 5. I think this is the end. MrX. The Helix is coming in from the back. There's a chance he could clear this up, but these Helices, at least one of, probably 2 or 3 are going to go down. The splash damage on these RPGs going to cause big damage. There's only 1 Helix remaining, I think. Yeah, only 1 Helix remaining. Nice try from MrX. Yeah, let me know in the chat. What do you think his downfall was there? Do you think he was just... Oh, he even stole a dozer and building a power plant. That is just... That's an insult. That's an insult to MrX. ViViD needs to apologize. Yeah, GG. All played, Mr. ViViD. So now they will reverse. This was Mr. X's map pick, by the way. Forgotten Air Battle is the map. I know I mentioned it before, but it really annoys me that they changed it to Forgotten Air Battle. Air Z, if you're watching, I think it was him that made this map. Him or Spec, one of them made this map, I think. Called it Forgotten Air Battle. It should be called Forgotten Forest Arctic. That's what it is. Or Snowy Forest, or something like that. He completely changed the name. You don't make a snow edition and just completely change the name. Anyway, MrX in the top right now with the Gilet Demolition in the yellow. Bottom left, we've got Mr. ViViD with the blue. He's not called Mr., by the way. I just keep saying it because I keep getting the names mixed up. Mr. ViViD in the blue with the China nuke. Okay, see how ViViD does here. I think the last time I played ViViD, actually, I played him. I think I played Tox versus Nuke, and he also played like quite bunkering defensive. He did go Overlord, so I'm expecting Overlords here. That's the benefit of being a player and a commentator, because when you play some of these players, you kind of know what to expect. So I don't see any way ViViD's going to be making Battle Masters. I also don't think he's going to go Helix. I think he's going to do Propaganda Center and go to Overlord's ECMs. At least that's what I've seen from him before. So let's see what he does. MrX not boxing his workers in like ViViD did before, but to be honest, it's not always that great, because you can actually trap just like 3 workers in there, and you can't actually collect with like 5 or 6 workers, which is optimal. Ideally, what you want to do is just stop the Battle Master like here before it actually gets in, or ideally somewhere else. Oh, MrX, no map control in the middle. I just get this feeling MrX is just playing really passive and defensive. I mean, he's going for the oils here. Okay, in the long run, that's gonna be good and get the oils. But like no tunnel or no presence in the middle. Like these buildings are going to be really good for stopping Battle Masters get through the base. Like here's for example. I mean, it could still probably get through. Yeah, it could. But at least it probably would have chipped off a little bit of HP from it. And then you'd be able to stop it here. But now I think that Battle Master's going to get in. Flamer coming through the middle. So actually, it probably wouldn't have worked out that well, because it will just be cleared by a Flamer. I think Nuke is... Demo is considered the stronger army here. You would expect Demo to win. But I don't think Nuke is actually all that bad, you know. I don't think Nuke is that bad here, because... yeah, it always seems hard to stop the Battle Masters getting any supply line. It's not an easy task. And MrX going for the Dozer Hunt? What the hell's going on here? How many I'm sure he has more than... I'm sure he has more than one. Oh, here we go. He's actually going to get the Dozer as well. Oh, would he kill that though? Because it started repairing. Oh, no. Oh, MrX. Oh, MrX is even on fire. So all he's achieved really is kill one Dozer and let... I mean, if he sends another tech in and just fires at it, he could kill it. But MrX must be pissed now. MrX is off to a real bad start. And MrX has lost several workers as well. He's going for the oil capture, but no oil upgrade just yet. Battle Master coming through the middle. One did get taken out, so you see that bunker, it would be useful for chipping away at the Battle Masters. Still got a Rebel down here. This Battle Master's probably going to get in the supply line. I can't see any way he's going to stop that. More poor workers. Probably could have pulled the workers. Not sure where MrX is focusing. Maybe it's down here. Or maybe he's focusing on rebuilding this. Mohammed says, why don't some pro players box in their workers? It's because of what I told you before. If you do a tunnel there, there's a chance that only 4 or 3 workers could go here and they get trapped, and it's a bit awkward and a bit annoying. I suppose the alternative is you could do what Fargo likes to do and build a barracks there. Build a barracks there like ViViD did before, and then a tunnel on the other side and demo traps and stuff. I think that would be probably be better. Maybe it's just people haven't practiced it enough, to be honest. I think Fargo's strategy is one of the best, where you box it off with spare barracks, or you build a fake barracks, and then you can upgrade it later on. Because I think a fake barracks only costs $125. You drop down a fake barracks in the beginning of the game. You don't even have to build it. If you watch Fargo's replays, he doesn't actually build it until a lot later on, because he wants to keep that worker collecting money for him. So yeah, I think Fargo's one of the players who's got it sussed out the most. So we do have a Helix out from ViViD. He is going Overlord's ECMs, but yeah, I didn't expect Helix first, which I think he did. He actually dropped down the airfield. We actually dropped down the airfield down here originally. Oh, he needs to repair that. But yeah, the airfield got spotted, so he cancelled it. Seems Scout wants MrX to go for the dozer hunt. I'm not surprised about that one bit. There is only one dozer left. I'm not sure if he's making a command center yet. I'll check in a second. Let's see in the action. So MrX has now got both oils. Now that should, after that bad start, that should put him at least a little bit ahead from where he was before, because before he was getting wrecked. Command center is still not placed down, so, and that needs repairing. That's a big mistake, because if a random tech just comes in here, he only has to literally just kick that with his little toe, and that's going down. Command center is now being built as we speak, and the Lotus is going to capture, well, it's already captured the oil back actually. Needs to repair that as well. I sometimes like to drop down a bunker or a Gatling cannon, or maybe put some guys inside of here. Maybe drop some mines down by it, because if you can protect that oil, it's absolutely massive. It's really, really, real massive. Palace is on the way for MrX. Another tunnel being deployed back in his base. Again, though, very, very defensive. None of these bunkers taken. I mean, yes, sure, there's a flamer coming and going to take out these, going to take out the bunkers, but you do a tunnel next to it, put a few scorps in it or whatever, and it's really, really hard to break through. It's better than just letting him into your worker line and stuff. Okay, Flamer is going to go down, and Command Center is rebuilt. Supply still left on 0 HP. I wonder if that supply will go down at any point. So yeah, Mr. ViViD's composition is vastly different. He's got 3 less helixes, and instead he's gone for Gats and for Overlords. I do prefer this composition. And now a big pop from MrX. This battle could be pivotal, but to be honest, I think MrX is losing a lot. 1 or 2 Gats have gone down, Outpost has gone down, and the army's been pushed back for the time being, but these Overlords can just come again. Subliminal messaging upgrade has been purchased already. So these, you can see the yellow around the red X. Quad going down. 1 Gat went down, Scorpion's gone down. Still a big engagement here. There's the... All the anti-air's been gone down, apart from the Stingers. But the ECMs have gone down as well, and I think ViViD might be throwing this game by this engagement. The Overlord are now forced back, cannot live without the ECMs, and the longer this game goes now, the more it's in MrX's favor, because in the meanwhile, it looks like that oil at the top did get killed. Not sure actually what killed that. Was it a demo Jarman? Maybe a demo bike? Probably a demo bike, I reckon. Either way, it's gone down. There's 2 helixes, sorry, 3 helixes now from ViViD.
Do what Fargo likes to do and pop your tunnel early.
Yo, Stonesy, thanks for the donation, man. In case everybody didn't hear, by the way, Fargo Pop has now been added to the Urban Dictionary. Oh, can we please just all take a moment just to appreciate the gravity of that situation? I added it last night, and I shared the link on YouTube and Facebook and Game Replays. And enough people voted it, and now it's been added. So within 24 hours, they said it's going to go live. So you'll be able to search Fargo Pop on Urban Dictionary and see what it means. It's got quite a decent definition, quite a decent and thorough definition. So be sure to check that out when it goes live. And if anyone wants to share the link in the chat, maybe whisper, send it to a moderator or something, and they can share the link, or I'll share the link after. But yeah, it needs a few hours to go live, but Fargo Pop is in the Urban Dictionary. Right, we've got 4 helixes now out from ViViD. 2 Overlords, 2 ECMs. He's got a troop crawler and an outpost in there. Of course, that's the downside of going Overlords, is it can easily be sniped by the Jarman, which then you've got to build outposts, which are like 900 a piece, or 950, is it 900? And the troop crawler 1,400. So it is expensive. But I think it's cheaper than getting all the upgrades and going Battle Masters. I think, anyway. MrX, this game is at quite a similar position now, but ViViD has more map control. I feel like MrX is a little bit acting like a hermit crab. He's just staying inside of his shell in both of these games so far. But I think if he just repels this attack, it all comes down to this attack. If he just repels this, it's GG. Oh, demo trap. Nice demo trap. Gonna kill... Well, he's killed the... What was that? Was it a gap? No, maybe an ECM. ECM's gone down. And if all these red guard go down, then... Yeah, he's on the... Oh, the outpost has been sniped. So he's only got one red guard. I mean, these overlords now free pickings. What MrX now needs to do is drop down a few stingers around his base, kind of like Boyka style. Ah, poor overlords, man. Yeah, like, Boyka style is like drop a stinger here, drop a stinger here, drop a stinger here. So no matter where the helixes fly into, they're going to take damage. I think Lotus is going to die. Kill a Lotus, man! There's a demo bike right there. Oh man, the Lotus has escaped. Oh, that was bad by MrX. I don't know what he was paying attention to, because the Lotus was right there. He even scanned it. What? I would have just force fired the ground without scanning it, to be honest. But yeah, Lotus has escaped, which is kind of a big win for ViViD. He's still got the vision here, so he can see what's coming. It's a similar game to before. I mean, it's not exactly the same. We've got more helixes out now, and I think MrX could die to it. He's not throwing down the stingers. He's throwing down more tunnels, more markets. I think it's just a little bit of lack of experience. I mean, I know we said in the beginning that MrX has got loads of experience, but he's not been playing recent, and when you see the amount of helixes that he's got out, you want to be dropping down a stinger here. Otherwise, these helixes, if they catch you off guard and you've only got a few quads, like that amount of quads there, I'm pretty sure these helixes... Look how many helixes. Those helixes could take that out. MrX won't know how many helixes there are, but he knows there are helixes out. You would drop down at least one stinger up here, I think. He does have the AP ammo, though, so the quads are going to do a lot better against the helixes, but, I mean, one bad carpet for MrX, like, pops up out his quads and they die. Then there's no stingers there to back it up. So one stinger has been dropped down now from MrX down here. He's protecting that oil. I think he's focusing too much perhaps on the oil. A Scud Storm. Don't know about that. I think he just needs to throw everything into defense, because if he just defends this, he has literally won. He must now see how many helixes there are. He's going to need to throw down loads of anti-air. One of the other things he could have got instead of the Scud was the rocket upgrade. ViViD is completely free reign in MrX's base now. But he's going to fly into a load of stingers, though. And bunkers as well. So the helixes are going to get chipped away here. One helix at least, probably two. Well, there's one. That one escapes. Didn't expect that one to escape. But yeah, that's good. I just cancel it. Honestly, cancel it. Invest in all the upgrades. Make your units as strong as possible. Make your defenses as strong as possible. And you've won the game. Of course, he doesn't know that ViViD hasn't got an internet center. We can see the whole map, and we know he's not got an internet center. But, I mean, with that amount of helixes, is he really going to be making that much secondary eco? So what has ViViD got? ViViD 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 helixes. 8 helixes. I don't even know where all this money is coming from ViViD. I mean, how much has he got now? 1,830. He doesn't have his oil anymore. And MrX's oil has gone down as well, so the artillery did kill that. But yeah, I think MrX... Well, if MrX just dropped down enough anti-air and got the upgrades to the Stingers, then he's won this without a doubt 100%. But because he's not dropping down enough Stingers and he's making a Scud instead, there's a chance he still could lose this. But there's a massive amount of quads. All going to come down to this engagement. It just depends how many helixes and how many quads go down. All of the quads are going to go down, but how many helixes is going to take with him? I think too many helixes have gone down. Yeah, he's lost too many. There's the AP ammo from the quads. So MrX did have it sussed all along. He's repelled that attack completely. It's going to go 1-1. I think ViViD knows it. GG, placed down. Well played to MrX. A little bit shaky in the start from MrX, but then he did manage to pull through in the end. I think ever since the oil capture, he just turned the game around. So yeah, well played to MrX. Nice try from ViViD. Here's one apiece. It's first to win 5 games. It's a best of 9 World Series 2020 round 2. If you're enjoying the stream and you want to see more World Series casted on my channel, remember to like the stream, get the visibility up on YouTube, get a few more viewers. And now we're just waiting for them to rejoin and we're going to game number 3, not round 3, game number 3. Although some people's round 3 is has even, I don't think it's started yet, but some people are already in round 3 ready to start. There's quite a few World Series games happening today, by the way. MrX says quite intense. I agree, in these World Series games, they do feel, at least to me, feel more intense. It's the biggest tournament of the year. It's also probably the biggest tournament Zero Hour maybe has ever seen in terms of money. There's over $2,000 to be won. But then, also there's a lot of active players at the moment. I think like 15 of 18 experts are playing the game right now. Not all of them are in the World Series, but... Like XCal said before, the bracket of death, the bottom left with me, Freestyler, Shay, Size, all like pretty much right next to each other. It's quite hard. Like Shay, for example, his route to the finals is so hard. So yeah, that aside, then we've got ViViD versus MrX, game number 3 on Deduso. And we've got some GLA music, so we need to change that now to some USA music. So we've got a USA versus Tox, ViViD in the blue in the south with the USA, and then MrX in the north with the yellow GLA Tox. Got a drone right there, as we can see. So Mr. ViViD is going to be able to see absolutely everything that MrX does. Decent ping, by the way. Not perfect. It is 18. Not sure where ViViD is from. I think MrX is Germany. Not sure where ViViD is from, but yeah, I mean 19 is not high at all, really. Got a dozer drop from ViViD. Behind this, he's just doing a war factory, not boxing in his other dozer. And the dozer's going to try to crush some workers on this second supply. That dozer's going to be forced away. He doesn't want to force fire to ground near the worker, otherwise he will kill the worker as well. And on the other side, this Chinook is now collecting from MrX's main supply, just slowing him down a little bit. Again, though, MrX's weakness, never going for the middle of the map, never sending anything to garrison the middle. Instead, he's done 2 tunnels more defensive in his main base. Those have been taken out on the right hand side. There's an ambulance coming in the left hand side. Maybe he was expecting a no eco or something with that defensive, with the defensive tunnel. MrX not garrison anything here. Maybe he just wants to go inside of the technicals. But this ambulance is going to get inside of the base and kill 3, 4, 5, 6 workers. I suppose that's the benefit of only having 3 workers sometimes, is that if an ambulance does come there, you only lose 3. MrX lost $1,200 worth of stuff there. Massive push here from MrX with the tech RPGs. I think that's what he's going for. That's his whole plan, was to go for this big push because he's doing them defensive tunnels in his base. Needs to be careful here if there's an ambulance come out, because an ambulance here could just wreck all of that. Needs to be real careful. Is an ambulance, needs to target it straight away. Ambulance does get loads of kills off. All of the RPGs now gone down, and I think ViViD will be able to clear that up. Yeah, ViViD has cleared this up. I think you can tell MrX is a little bit off and a little bit rusty. Should have targeted that ambulance down straight away. Also, no harassment on the right hand side. Usually you want to harass on both sides, but that was one big push. That was his whole kind of strategy there, just to do that one big push and try and win the game right there. Now that's repelled, I think you could say ViViD's got the advantage because he killed all of them workers as well. And ViViD could just go down the middle. ViViD could literally just go down the middle, go from like this side, take out that tunnel, take out the Wolf Factory, GG. MrX now pushing with quads, something you don't always see with Tox. Quads are expensive for Tox. $750 each. Similar to Demo. Same as Demo even. Hottest Chili says, can I zoom out a little bit? I don't think I can actually, no. Can I? I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can actually. Why do you need it zoomed out more? We can see plenty here. TNT coming left side to take out a Firebase, but this push now from ViViD on the right hand side, taking out MrX's second supply. Pushing this left hand side from MrX again with quads, but there's a Crusader here and some nice laser locks. A few Vs going down. So the quads actually not doing that bad. They've cleared up everything. So maybe I take that back. Normally you don't see quads, but actually they did pretty well there, taking out all of ViViD's army. But ViViD's main army is in actually MrX's base. So as long as he clears that up somewhat, if he closes down this tunnel, if that tunnel goes down, I think it's GG because you can't save the War Factory. MrX is going to try again with some quads and RPGs, but I think it's too little too late. Yeah, MrX is out. I'm afraid of well, not out of the round, but he's out of this particular game. Well, once he loses that, he literally has nothing. Okay, he's building a tunnel, but that's his last building. That barracks there is his last building. Don't think he has another scaffold placed down, so that's going to be it. GG thrown down from MrX. Oh, he tried to build a demo trap there. But actually, that's not that great against the building. GG, well played to ViViD. Okay, so the map was the Duso. Nice. Carl says he still can't see the score. Don't worry, after this game, I'll make it size 72 font for you and bold. Impact font. Everybody shall know the score. Mr. X in the south with the Deduso. He's in the yellow. USA Vanilla. And in the north, ViViD with GLA Tox in the blue. I think you have to give the army advantage here to ViViD. On a big map like this, I think GLA can control the game and harass both sides. Also, the Tox tunnels and Tox RPGs, more powerful, techs are cheap. But I don't think USA is completely out of it. The reason being is because USA can usually find a way through the middle. Like here, for example, ViViD's going to close off this side and here and probably part of the middle. So yeah, the whole left side's going to be completely closed off. But what's stopping the Vs from going down the right side, like a big V army just amassing your base, like every USA player is going to do. And then just charge down the right hand side. You could even go straight to here, or you can go straight across the map to the arms dealer. You can get to that arms dealer without impacting or coming across any tunnel. So yeah, it's not that easy to stop the USA getting towards your arms dealer, unless you're going to do a fake arms dealer and drop down more tunnels in the middle and upgrade it later, or unless you're going to like build these tunnels like he has done here and then instantly drop down some more tunnels here, which is probably the best or optimal build order, or just put on enough pressure to stop USA doing that. But I think it is pretty hard to stopping USA getting all the way to your base. I don't think USA has not got any chance. Definitely has a chance here. Take RPG from ViViD. This is decent from ViViD. I think Mr. X is not going to be prepared for this. This one's going to be a Terror Tech, I reckon. This one you can just leave it here on guard mode or just leave it here indefinitely. Mr. X might try and stop this. But it's going to be bad though. Oh, the terrorists could screw up. Yeah, they screwed up. So Millard, I hope you're watching. Because I think Millard was asking me about this, or someone in the chat was asking me about this. If you don't spread them terrorists out properly, they will not guaranteed die, but sometimes that will happen. Mr. X saved by I don't know if it's a bug. Is it a bug? Maybe it's not a bug, but saved by an annoyance for Tox. For now, anyway. If that supply had gone down, I would outright say ViViD definitely has a big advantage. I think he still has an advantage anyway. Now coming in with these techs here, he's going to take out the dozer, and he actually might still take out the supply at the end. I probably would have targeted the Chinooks first, but he's going to take out the supply. That's going to be real hard to clear up by Mr. X. War Factory going down now. I think ViViD might be taking this game. Mr. X is kind of stuck now. He can either abandon his base and go and push down the middle, which he might even have a job doing that because of this one. You could take that out. But really, he's going to be forced to defend. And against these Tox tech RPGs, you can't really do that much. These Chinooks maybe brought back a little bit too soon because he could have just unloaded there and took them all out. But ViVid's going to go back for the time being, not hang around. He's going to pop from the right-hand side instead. Is he going to pop everything? Let's see. Schnuck from MrX going down. I think MrX is slowly being picked apart here. I mean, MrX isn't completely out, but he's slowly bleeding out, I think. He's losing a lot of HP in a lot of these Vs. Two of them very, very low. One's on half. ViViD applying the pressure real nice. He's also taking the control over pretty much all of the middle now. You can't really get through it, I don't think, anymore. Yeah, MrX is going to lose some more Schnooks here. Yeah, he's under a lot of pressure. His base has been confined to this little square on the map. And ViViD, again, adding insult to injury, is even collecting from MrX's... you could say that's his main supply. Yeah. Or one of his main supplies, at least. MrX's last dozer, I think, has now gone down, and MrX confined to only now two Vs. Got the turn missile upgrade, but I think it's safe to say ViViD is taking this game. He's even on Palace, dropping down more tunnels in his main base, just playing it super safe. But from this point, I mean, even if that even though that TNT failed, ViViD has still controlled the game from that point onwards. Two tunnels there cancelled. I don't know if ViViD actually got the money back or not. MrX is desperately trying to stay in there. He's not just quitting. He is staying in there as long as possible. Flashbangs that are ready for MrX now. MrX is surviving. I have no idea how he is surviving. ViViD has literally a complete claw grip surround on MrX's base, like not even exaggerating. He's completely surrounded him. He's even collecting on his main supply. MrX is in a world of trouble. He still has Vs, and with Vs I suppose anything is still possible, but there's just so much from ViViD all over the map. More Vs picked off. Palace is now out. He's now going battle buses. With ViViD, he's only got the oil on the right. Oh, he's got the oil on the left as well, I suppose. And he's got a third supply, which is this one that's going down now, though. MrX is clearing it up. But there's all these supplies in the middle that he could have had for a very long time. And ViViD choosing not to go for them. I suppose he's been focusing on applying the pressure, and I suppose that's probably recommended. You don't need the supplies if the USA is dead. If you can kill the USA, you don't necessarily need them supplies, but... maybe when he comes up against some big pros in the following rounds. Not sure who else he's going to be facing, but he's probably not just going to get away with the aggression. He's probably going to need to expand and get the supplies as well. So, but in this case, it looks like he's going to win the game. But yeah, Gamma buses. Oh, that's painful. All the Vs on the left taken out. MrX is putting up a valiant fight, but I would have definitely GG'd by this point. Unless MrX is just doing it just to keep his hands warm or to play a little bit more. Maybe he gets better with time. But I would have thrown in the towel here. I mean, as soon as you see Gamma buses and you're on no supplies and a couple of Vs, you probably know it's GG. Remember, MrX is on no dozer, so everything he loses now, that cannot be rebuilt. Even if MrX suddenly moves out, ViViD can just go back in the side of his tunnel. and then just go and base trade it. These buildings will go down so fast. I think MrX knows it's GG. He's just putting up a good fight. Maybe a show for the viewers. I think ViViD could have even finished this a bit sooner, maybe. If we're going to be super critical, he has controlled and ripped MrX apart. MrX has not been on very much for very long. Like, going back here, I don't think... If he goes back, you don't need to go back. Even if you lose these buses, so what? You can just kill these buildings. That's GG. But you got to remember, it is the World Series. If you make one mistake and throw a game, you cannot go back on it. So I suppose that's why. But like here... No, that's the last building. Just kill that. Even if you lose these buses, doesn't matter, because once that building's dead, it's game over. I don't understand how MrX is still in the game. Close. Does he mean close as in almost killed the barracks, or does he mean close game? Because it wasn't a close game in my opinion. ViViD did a really strong performance there. Really well played. I love watching China mirrors and China versus tank. Sorry, not China versus tank. Tank versus stealth. So I'm hoping we get some of these. I'm secretly hoping we get a China vanilla mirror, because I have a feeling we'd have a good game on our hands with China vanilla mirror. MrX wants Baron Badlands. Baron Badlands balanced, I think it is. Let me just double check that that's the right wording for the map. Baron Badlands balance 0v1, that's the one. Okay, stealth versus China. Well, it's almost stealth versus tank, but it's not quite. MrX has the massive army advantage here. Let's see if he's able to try and bring this back at least to 3-2, and then he'll have to win the China versus stealth himself as well. So let's see. Pretty common thing MrX is doing is sending a work over there. I'll introduce the players first. We've got MrX with the yellow or gold. Chile stealth. We've got ViViD with the China vanilla in the blue. Yeah, not my favorite map. I don't really like Baron Badlands. I probably would like it more if this ridge was removed. This ridge kind of annoys me. But I mean, it's different and it's unique. So yeah, let's see what ViViD can do here. I think that the strategies both players have gone for so far, sending a worker over here and sending a dozer over here to build a supply and a war factory, are pretty common on this map. Some people like to go for this supply over here and try, but it's just a bit weird if you do that, because if you do a supply and a war factory here, if you've got a fight here in your base, that flamer or that gat that you produce has got to come all the way down here and come over and fight here. So yeah, that's why he's gone down here instead. MrX doesn't seem to be aware of this aggressive war factory, or maybe he is. If you're anticipating it, one thing you could do is queue some terrorists over here or queue a hijacker over here. Because if you stop that flamer with a hijacker and just do a flame war with some RPGs, you can pretty much seal off, and that'll probably win you the game. If you defend against this, you can probably win the game. MrX is going for quads already, and he's now going to pop out his quad from here, I think, and try and defend this. He's going to need to anyway. He's actually pushing in the base with his own quad. Okay, interesting. Quad almost went down there to a flame war. He's dropped down another tunnel, in my opinion. If you want to hold that, you need at least 2 or 3 tunnels just to hold that safely so you can forget about it. Because if that tunnel goes down, that's probably GG. You can't afford to lose his supply. MrX not paying attention. I don't think he is now, but he might lose some quads for that. It's going to be painful. Going to lose 1 quad. Second quad. Yeah, second quad going down. And an RPG went down as well. So that's a good trade for Mr. ViViD. Wraith's really confused. He wants to know the score. I know, man. I'm telling you, this Texas is too small. So ViViD is going to clear up this aggression in his base. He's looking to try and push here, and he might actually get that with a hijacker. He has damaged it himself quite a lot, but he's going to get the flamer and get away with it in his base as well. So that's a really big win. I think MrX might take this one. MrX doing pretty well so far. And just based on the previous game as well, where MrX won with demo against Nuke, I think MrX is doing pretty well in those games, and ViViD not doing so well. Flamer, oh man, that's bad. That is real bad. This whole base now for ViViD is going to go down because of that flamer. Nice hijacker. It's as if MrX is listening to my commentary or something. Do a hijacker. I probably would have done it a bit sooner to try and stop that. Flamer. But I mean, he did it later, and it's worked out absolutely perfect for him. Jundy says I should check out Blizzard Badlands Reloaded. Okay, I don't think I've seen that map. I've seen Blizzard Badlands. And I know the supplies moved like to here, I think. And there's 2 supplies, I think, as well. In fact, is that the one you're on about? Big attack over here, actually. ViViD. Yeah, I'm afraid he's being torn apart. He's got the red guards ready to capture the ores. But MrX has already sneakily tucked the ore in the top left. Then MrX, this is his map pick. He's doing pretty well. XCal is off for a walk with the wife. See you later, XCal. MrX losing a lot here to a flamer, but this flamer is going to come in again. This flamer is MVP, I tell you. This flamer is probably going to single-handedly win MrX this game. I mean, you get a flamer here. What's China going to do? Okay, he's sending a GAT now, but even the GAT's going to go down. I mean, that flame wall's even a little bit off. Yeah, you do the flame wall there. And what's China going to do to stop that? The only thing you could probably send there is a Battle Master. Maybe Outpost if you want to go all the way around. Flamers don't do damage to each other. Oh, this... Why is the flame wall taking so long? I think it's the terrain. What the hell's going on with that flamer? Now it's in a better position, but the outpost is already there, but the outpost is taking big damage. MrX going for the palace back in his base. He's expanding. GG from ViViD. Well played with MrX. I don't know if it's completely flawless. He did lose a few units, but really solid performance from MrX. I think a variation that probably some players do that I see, you should drop down the war factory first here in this position where we are now. Drop down the war factory first, get that fast flamer over here, stop that supply, and then build your second supply. I think if he had done that, he may have been able to get a slight advantage in the beginning and maybe denied MrX's second supply. Blizzard Badlands Reloaded. I don't know if I have that, you know. Oh, yeah, I do. Whoa, I don't know if I've seen that one. Oh, yeah, it's got these little ramps. I like that one, you know. I haven't even played it, and I already like it. Blizzard Badlands balanced. Do you reckon we have enough Blizzard Badlands? Or Baron Badlands? There's quite a few there. There's like 4. That reloaded one looks better. I need to update the score. Right, what is MrX going to do here? Is he going to be able to pull it back to 3-3? The armies are against him here. He's a China Vanilla in the yellow on the right hand side. And then the left hand side we've got ViViD and the blue Jule's stealth. Yeah, so stealth considered much, much better than China Vanilla. I think on this map as well. It's definitely hard for China Vanilla, but let's see what MrX is going to do. He's actually... It looks like a double helix. He's going to do a double helix rush. That's what he's going to do. Might work, actually. He's preparing a terror attack, Mr. ViViD. Looks like a double helix. Yeah, but the problem is here. This one is so close to the front of his base. If ViViD even gets an RPG like here, he's going to spot that straight away. Generally, I like to do airfield here, so it's like nice and far back. You don't see it. But I mean, this is an all-in, so yeah, it's going to be two helixes. One helix will have a bunker. One helix will have the Gatling cannon. But you see here, because that airfield is probably revealed like now. So ViViD knows there's at least one airfield, and that's a bit of a weird position. You're going to probably expect there's going to be two. I don't know if he can drop down that bunker and still have enough money. Oh yeah, he can. He's got 0, so he must have upgraded it. Just run away, MrX. You just need to run from here. You just can't fight that. You just need to run away. Okay, so at least MrX knows all the RPGs are trapped inside there. That's bad for ViViD. That's real bad for ViViD. Because now he's going to take out the airfield, but so what? The quad cannon going to go inside of the tunnel. And this is working out really well for MrX. MrX now needs to expand to a second supply behind this when he's got the money for it. Quad cannon going down. Tunnel going down. Oh, there's two quads back here for Mr. ViViD. Oh, MrX losing his... That's the bunker helix going down. Oh, man, what's this micro? What are you doing? He's not seeing the helix. He's not seeing the quads. If he'd have took out them two, he probably could have won the game, but now he's lost. You can't... I think he was probably paying attention back here. That's probably what he was doing, paying attention back here. I would have just sacked off the base. Even if you lost that airfield and power the barracks, 100% focus and micro has to be here. You took out them two quads. And stopped that worker from building that stinger. Probably he probably could have won. When you're doing all in like that, you have to pay 100% attention to your main attack. There's no like building some red guard back in the base. Building the red guard back in the base to defend the power, to defend the barracks, to defend the airfield. What use is that? That's not much impact on the game. But those two helixes have a massive impact. ViViD's map. I think I said ViViD map, yeah. Arctic Lagoon, I think he wants. Arctic Lagoon it is. Air versus Inf. We've got infantry in the South Arctic Lagoon with the blue infantry for ViViD. And in the north, we've got MrX with the yellow USA Air Force. Interesting matchup. I think you have to say air is the stronger army overall, but it's certainly not out of the question for Inf to win because you get a big blob of infantry, or you're doing assault troop crawler rushing that gets in the base, and it can easily turn pear-shaped for Air Force. So interesting matchup here. Interested to see who's going to win. Is MrX going to be able to deny a big blob of infantry? I think ViViD's going to do 4 tank hunters and then the assault troop crawler. Is that what we're going to see? He's going 2 supplies, fast barracks. It depends where that tank hunter goes. Yeah, he's going to go for it. He's going to go for an assault troop crawler. I hate facing this as any USA, actually. I really hate facing it. Has ViViD spent all his money? I didn't check if he spent 2,400. But now he needs to be making more tank hunters, because just 2 tank hunters I don't think is enough. You need... Ideally, you want to bring 3 or 4 with him. So he is building more tank hunters now. MrX, how is he responding to this? He's sending a V down the left-hand side. Where's MrX's drone? Drone is right there. I don't know if he expects it, because I don't know if he's seeing more of them tank hunters going out. If he doesn't expect this and doesn't respond to this like an absolute beast, then he is... he literally will just die to it. In these perfect V micro, preferably you want to get a flashbangs as soon as you possibly can. It's not easy to defend against. I really, really hate facing this rush. This is a super, super OP rush. MrX got 3 Vs out. Is that going to be enough? There is a dozer on the left-hand side. It might get taken out by this old troop crawler if MrX does not move it out of the way or defend against it. MrX's V is still roaming around the base. Don't know if MrX anticipated there's going to be tank on this inside. Yeah, that was not beast-like micro. It's really, really hard to deal with. You need to deal with it really, really well. But he's saying good luck. Good luck in the World Series. Mr. ViViD looks like he's going to go through 5-2. Good luck in World Series against Fargo. Well played, MrX. Good try. But ViViD just proved too strong. 5-2 is going to be the final score. Actually, was that pretty quick games? An hour and a half, I suppose. Probably a little bit less because we had the intro, 10 minutes intro. See, like an hour and 15 minutes. So yeah, best of 9 it was. 5-2 to Mr. ViViD. I won't pull up the bracket because I think it's got some spoilers in there, but I'm going to show... I can tell you... let me show you this. Oh no, I can't. I literally... What I could do actually is if I pull that over here, I could show you probably part of the bracket. 1 second, because I don't want to spoil some results for some people. So if I show you this, I can show you. Ah shit! I've just spoiled one. You've probably seen it anyway. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how much I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you up to here. Here's the bracket. MrX down here, he did beat Drag 5-1. I didn't actually watch those games. ViViD beat the Game 03. Oh man, with that name, the Game 03, I was expecting big things. I was expecting him to win the whole tournament. I mean, the game. ViViD MrX, so yeah, 5-2, ViViD will go through. So he's now going to face probably Fargo. I don't think Fargo and Peace Liver have actually played yet, so MrX being a bit presumptionative, if that's a word, that Fargo will go through. Probably Fargo is the favourite going into there, but I don't think Peace Liver's out of the question. Peace Liver did beat Ammon MC, and Ammon MC is a decent player. Got Google down there as well if ViViD does come through that whole thing, so that's what's going to happen there. There are more games later today happening as well, but I won't be streaming them. But yeah, GG, well played to ViViD. Really, really strong performance. Collecting 12,300 there, but I mean, the cash doesn't really matter too much there. It was an all-in from ViViD. With that, well, it's not really an all-in, it's just a really, really hard rush to stop, and you sacrifice a few outposts to do one big hard rush, which is that assault troop crawler and the tank hunters. Yes, so GG, well played. Let me know in the chat. Did this go as you expected? Did you expect MrX to do better? Did you expect MrX to win? Is the score as you projected? Yeah, GG's, well played to both players. I'm now going to upload my games against Leader that I played in round 2. So if you hang around on my channel for a bit, I'm uploading them very, very soon. So GG's, well played to both players. Stream is going to end now. And hopefully I'll see you very soon. GG.